Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is me, Dukect, back with you once again here on the Dukect Lounge with a special little guest, our recurring guest, Patrick Alexander. So what's
How's
up?
it going?
Wow, what a, the most interesting week in wrestling and everything else. But first we got to talk about the big thing, the Final Deletion, TNA. Hardy versus Hardy, Brother Nero and Broken Matt Hardy. What an experience.
That's one way of putting it. Experience. I think that's my most favorite thing that TNA has done in 10 years.
Honestly, I would say, quite honestly, it wasn't one of the best moments. I mean, to be completely, real with you, this is probably the best time TNA, the best, wrestling like moment TNA was actually. Last time I really was in with TNA was with when Lashley was heavyweight champion and basically destroying everybody. This was like, that was like the last time TNA really got to me. This right here, I was like, wow, they went whole hog on it. They said, let's go crazy, let's go nuts, and we can't really. I actually am gonna try and plan to do a whole video, basically doing just about the entire saga, later on, because it looks like it might be over, but you never know with wrestling storylines and such. But yeah, this looks like this was probably one of the biggest things, and quite honestly, I was like, I didn't think it was gonna be that interesting when I first saw that when the whole, contract signing. It was funny, but I didn't think they would go full. I thought they would just be pulling back, but TNA went all in on it.
I mean, that's really the only thing you can do at this point. Try to just throw everything you can, like fireworks.
Yeah, this was. I mean, it was one of the most. I still watch this, and I love the fact of the drones. We had his own the holographic message for Brother Nero. I was like, my gosh,
And that high-pitched voice. At first I thought, is something wrong with the video? Is something wrong with my speakers?
He said, Brother Nero. And I was like, wow. And he had his army full of drones. Jeff Hardy doing his best Jeff Jarrett impersonation, and then just smacking the drones with his guitar, and then it's just amazing that he's playing the straight man in all of this.
The same one.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you go, well, that would never happen, and here we are.
Yeah. It's one of the big things. I think one of the most positive things that TNA has done is, the production. It looks I mean, yeah, I mean, all that leading up to the match. I mean, the birthday party with Maxwell, and him saying, Matt's like an extraordinary. I mean, seriously, if there was an Emmy, I mean, I don't know if they could do it, but dang it, Matt Hardy's performance, broken Matt Hardy, he deserved an Emmy. I mean, right there, seriously, that was just amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lucha Underground was nominated for an Emmy, so in theory, I would think maybe there's a chance that Matt Hardy would be nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to happen, or like any
anytime
acting
soon.
award.
But yeah, I don't.
But I mean, you gotta say, at least like with Matt Hardy, he's all like, well, I'm going to be a B movie villain, and I'm
Yeah,
going to do my damnedest.
yeah, um, and you see, during the whole thing, him playing the horrible violin, which is
Oh,
surprised
it's a
to have
lovely violin.
lovely violin, but he's playing it terribly. I'm surprised no one has done the whole, play like have Shinsuke Nakamura's music dubbed on it. Yeah, probably it has already, but I never, leave a link in the description if y'all be so kind if that happened. I might add that, or I might make it myself. But the match itself, quite honestly, it was actually pretty. It was actually good for the Hardy standards and such. It was a hardcore match and everything. There was a lot of camera cuts though. It was a lot of camera cuts, a lot of the whole Simside music and everything like that, and it felt like really dramatic, but also it was like wrestling was secondary, if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like all the stuff I remember from that segment. Not, not much comes from the actual wrestling. I mean, there's stuff like it within the wrestling, like the referee driving up and Matt Hardy's flat out saying, "Are you a licensed official?"
Yes.
And then uh, when Matt Hardy is about to pin Willow, and he's like, "Official, official."
By the way, I mean we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. It's just the wrestling match started in the ring. I don't know what the rules were. It's just like it was just there was just basically no rules. The referee was just there just to count the pin or the submission. That was pretty much what he said. You
Yeah.
count the pin or the submission.
And under no circumstances do you resuscitate Brother Nero.
and it just kept go and they started in the ring, swanton bombs. I don't know what he hit Matt with. He tossed a. I felt like that big leaf thing. It felt like part of a gazebo set or something.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called, but I know I've seen it, and I think you're right. It's probably like either part of a gazebo or part of a terrace or something.
So, yeah, and I was like, but then again, knowing the Hardys, I wouldn't be surprised that was like all their weed or something. But yeah, he took all that stuff, and I'm like, they went all out, and probably and Jeff with his swanton miss with the ladder, which jumped from a tree. I was like, wow.
No, before they decide to take his shirt off for the
And
fans that
yeah,
aren't there. So when he misses the man and lands actually on the ladder, we get a nice look at the excuse me, the bloody gash on his back.
yeah, and I was like, it felt like he was going almost, yelling like, ah, like why is he yelling? There's no one here, and it just seems like almost to borrow a thing from Bennett the Sage, when he does animated band, and you ever watch that review show?
Not for years. I know what you're talking about.
He's like, I felt like Jeff Hardy was about to go full Garzi's wing, and it just goes yelling and just
I know what I've seen that episode.
yes, he might. I was like, he might go. I wouldn't in this thing. I would not be surprised. And then they went off. And then go ahead, describe the next part after that whole thing, man.
Okay, so after the swanton on the ladder. They go straight to a lake or a river. It's a body of water, and
No,
they
no, no.
brawl
You're
there.
skipping the fireworks, man.
Oh shit! That actually leads into it.
Yes, that
Well,
actually.
yeah, God.
My gosh, the fireworks, and he's.
Dear God, what the hell? How can I miss? How can I forget where the fireworks placed? Okay, so backing up. So somehow, like Matt's out of the ring and he grabs the fireworks tube thingy. He lights it up, and then bam, fireworks come across the tree or across the ring, and Jeff is defending himself with a garbage can lid.
Yelling,
It's like,
"What's wrong with you?"
I think that was done from the contract signing.
I don't know, but it seems like he was yelling that, but it just kept going, and then I love the fact afterwards, and he was like bringing up, he was like, "Brother Nero."
With the rubber gardening thing he had.
It says it's over, and then he just broke character. He was
Like, oh shit!
like Reynolds, and then Jeff Hardy started shooting up, and then
Yeah.
I love the fact he says, and then Matt Hardy hid him behind his boat, and he's like, and then Jeff, which one of them said this? Like, it's a dilapidated boat.
I think it was Matt.
That's a dilapidated
Yeah,
boat.
like I can never say it's a dilapidated boat or it's a dilapidated boat or the words dilapidated boat do appear in that order.
Yeah, we're not making this up. I'll put the link in the thing out there. TNA put out there. I'm surprised I haven't made a DVD yet, but you know, it would probably be the only thing in that thing that would go out, you know, sell out. Which is, if you go on TNA's shop, man, it's a depressing type thing. You still can find people, like, there's still, you know, shirts that, you know, like Bad Influence shirts are still up there. You still have AJ Styles stuff. You know, there was recently a DVD, but Sting's t-shirts, Jeff Jarrett. This DVD costs like $30, even though on Amazon you can get that for 10. It's just really depressing. But you know what, this is, you know, we can bash TNA for a while, but this is, well, we're gonna praise it, because by God, this match got even more weirder when they get to the body of the lake. Go from there, man.
Okay. Now finally they're brawling at the lake or whatever the body of water was. And Matt Hardy knocks Jeff out in the actual water. Forgot almost like the Scorpion Death Drop into the water. And Matt's like, yes, it is over!
I bet you the Hardy, Brother Nero, has been flushed.
And then who should appear than Will the Wisp? This Joker laugh at his umbrella.
And he started laughing. I was like, what the? I was like, and I was just like, this is amazing. It just kept getting better and better.
Luckily, Matt Hardy's governor, Senior Benjamin, came and tasered Willow to death.
And the wizard, Willow, started just laughing. He was like, ah! Didn't think I heard him. And then he grabbed Senior Benjamin, and then, well, it looked like Willow was knocked unconscious. And then Matt Hardy finally says, official! Pin. And then the mask was removed, and it was...
Senior Benjamin! No!
No, exactly. And then Jeff Hardy came out of nowhere, and they kept fighting. Jeff Hardy, tried choking him out, and he says, "Come on, brother, come on!" And it looked like it was all over. Jeff Hardy was about to do a swanton on top of this huge,
Jeff Hardy symbol.
Yeah. And then
probably at Jeff Hardy's place now.
Okay, and then guess what else happened? I don't know what happened. It was like a flashback or a flash forward in the dream.
A flashback. I think like Jeff was having his life flash before his eyes.
Matt is having everything, and then somehow he gets this candle from his the birthday. You know, the whole. You know, would you call this that thing Chekhov's gun for the most part?
Yes.
It was, and he said, "This candle is lit. Brother Nero's," and will rise or something. And then he lit the fire, and then there was some gasoline put there earlier, and somehow Matt Hardy got like a bit touched by the fire or something like that, and you see pictures of it. You see him like the whole like boom, it hit him. He wasn't burned or anything. It just like was it a backdraft or whatever? It just hits him, and then he just like he moved out of the way so he didn't get burned. And
oh no, you talk about Jeff?
No, Matt. That's what happened when he dropped the candle into the gasoline, and then.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, and then Jeff Hardy fell. Matt Hardy tossed him aside, and then he pinned him, and it was over. Brother Nero has been deleted, and it's just hilarious. In fact, they if I can find it in his Instagram, Jeff Hardy, you had Matt Hardy says delete, and then it just turns into a black screen. That Brother Nero's been deleted. In fact, Jeff Hardy is deleted. He's done. I was like, that was it. I couldn't. There was no words, man. This was great.
Yeah, and then it kept going because Matt Hardy made do on controlling the Hardy brand on social media, so he's taking over Jeff's accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the Final Deletion. And there's one unsung hero that we haven't sung, but I will. Senior Benjamin.
Yeah.
Because without his masterful massacre planning, this match would not be as good as it was.
Yeah, the landscape. That's a landscape you want to have. I'm surprised. I just did some landscaping. I'm like, man, I'm good, but I'm not that good. Setting all that stuff up, like, man, I gotta get my skills up.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
like it's like man, for like prepare the battlefield for Massacre Senior Benjamin. It's like, okay, Mr. Hardy just sets up the ring.
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
Senior Benjamin is actually Rebby Sky's dad.
Yep.
So wow, this was an amazing segment. It was wow.
Yeah, it may actually, depending on things, I'm shocked to say that it may have a place in my top 10 wrestling matches of 2016 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I think this is right up there. I can't. I mean, this probably would be feud of the year. I actually thought this was going to be Gooker level and stuff, but I can't. I can't put this in the Gooker category. I can't do it. This is probably one of the best things pro wrestling has done, and it's funny enough that people who watched it previously, people from ROH to WWE, New Japan, and some even Lucha Underground actually watched, and not everyone in Lucha Underground liked it, but some did. In fact, that's the reason why you saw that weird Wyatt sting on Monday Night Raw. That was very heavily influenced by the Final Deletion. So you might see more of this in things to come.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, if you do if you do a couple Final Deletions like a year, it's gonna be fine. But if you do 4 of them in a year or more, or just it's gonna get watered down, and it'll be less special. And then you also have to think that the Final Deletion works on a so bad at skill level, but we have say WWE on it, they're going to try to make it actually good, and it's probably going to fall flat.
Yeah, but again, I don't know what else to really say about this show.
Yeah,
I thought this was. I thought again, this was something is missing, and this is I felt like as much as I like the very sports heavy type of thing, and heck, I was back in the day, loved WCW. I still watch say Ring of Honor, but it has that type of energy, that type of being a real sport and such, where wins and losses matter and so on and so forth. But wrestling really missed stuff like this, the off the wall craziness, and not only that, but also when wins and losses matter, which I hope the WWE takes that into effect too, Because you could have a wacky, crazy thing with the Wyatts or whatever. But if
Mm-hmm.
the wins and losses have no real meaning to it, it's meaningless.
Yeah, and maybe you'll be back with the brand split, but yeah, I'm not holding my breath.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're gonna take a small musical break, but we will return talking about. Well, we're gonna talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw, and well, it's not gonna be pretty. We'll be right back right after this. And we're back! Woohoo! Oh,
Yay!
and now the Monday Night Raw ratings. Oh boy, how the Monday Night Raw ratings. Oh goodness, they were the most lowest, um, and since
I think it's ever.
yes, again, it's one of the most lowest. Yeah, it's one of the most lowest ever. And
Yeah, and
and,
then
and
again,
even it
people are
even
always saying, "Oh, it's going to be the lowest because it's on a holiday."
no, this is dropped to 20-year low. And even worse, it's something connected to actually sadly the Shield. And I will put this thing up here, and it's not. And let's see, Shield. Oh yes. Let's see, championships and ratings. It's not good. In fact, every time these three guys, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose, has held the big belt, guess what? Um, this is something from, believe it or not, um, for the it says right here from latest for blog from Alpha Kanawas. He says right here the Shield is bad for ratings, and it says right here every one Seth Rollins to Roman Reigns to Dean Ambrose, each one has gotten a lower rating, and it's right here, and I'll put the link in the description. It's my gosh, and it's the facts are here, ladies and gentlemen. And the Shield is not a draw. Seth Rollins' Raw rating 2.21, 18-year low. Roman Reigns, when he was champion this past month, 2.03, 19-year low. Dean Ambrose, July 4th, 2016, 1.87, 20-year low. What is the problem? Is it the Shield? Is it the people the W have right now? Why are they having these low ratings? What is going on with the WWE?
Well, let's see. In Rollins' case, he was booked horribly as champion. Just bad, just weak, just especially when he feuded with John Cena for the U.S. belt for some reason.
And that was the most meaningless. I felt like I was trying to ape Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe thing, and I gotta say,
Jay Briscoe.
Yeah, Jay Briscoe and Jay Lethal. Let me tell you something. Ring of Honor did that better because at least they actually had some real type of like, they built that up. They really built that up. Jay Lethal winning every of these long matches, calling himself the real champion. Jay with his championship run, never been pinned for 2 years. They built that up, and let me tell you, that match was great. And in the end,
Oh yeah.
they made that to best, and they built it up. And not only that, they let him hold the 2 titles for a while. With Rollins, he had the U.S. Championship, and he lost to the next pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay. And then with Roman's case, well, we don't know what failure he's been. No, I mean, even if we ignore like the actual metrics, like the ratings and the attendance, like we all know how viscerally hated he is
Yeah.
from a fan standpoint. Of course, him failing a wellness test doesn't help either.
Yeah. And here's the thing. He's if you look at this from Wrestling Inc. Wrestling Inc. From this person right here saying, talking to from Twitter, it says Tafo Ahmed says he just had a chat with WWE Hall of Famer Pat Patterson. Roman Reigns' career won't suffer post suspension. He believes. He says he's young, people make mistakes, so they're saying that his even though he has a bad title run and everything else, he won't really have a really bad type of return or something like that. Some say he might get the championship back, which will make things even worse because that shows that the people are gonna be like, why should I even care for this person? And like you're trying to make him a good guy, and there's rumors that there's gonna have a road to redemption for Roman Reigns, which is like, oh my gosh. And another thing, I will say this, I will give props to TNA once again because they did this with Jeff Hardy and they did it a lot better because they waited a whole damn year. Over a year of Jeff Hardy doing all this type of stuff until they went to the Bound for Glory tournament and they had Jeff Hardy win against Austin Aries and having him really seem that he was okay. Like, well, he was really, you know what I mean, though, right? They built up that type of road to redemption with Jeff Hardy. This is not a road to redemption. That's just basically a fast pass to redemption. They're saying, there you go, here's your championship. There you go, that's it.
Yeah. Of course, it'd be funny, like if Battleground comes and Roman Reigns doesn't win.
Yeah,
but
it's
then this makes this conversation meaningless.
Yeah, but also, what is the problem with not only the Shield, but also everyone around the WWE? Is this whole thing? It's like this. It feels like when I watch the show, when I do, it's like it's a 3 hour just snore fest, and
slog.
It's definitely a slog. Yeah.
Like I haven't even watched Raw in Christ, I think over a year. I mean, I watched it a bit, like when I kind of came back to like wrestling when Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were like just starting up their blood feud. I was like, I'm gonna watch this, and then Raw, a 3 hour monstrosity.
It is. It's a the one thing I don't like about Raw, and now SmackDown is gonna be supposedly 3 hours too, is that there's that's what I keep hearing, and that has gonna happen.
I hope not, because I have not heard anything about that. I mean, like when I listen to the Wrestling Observer Radio, that question does come up about is SmackDown being 3 hours, and messages are like, God, I hope not, but I haven't heard anything. But, I mean, then again, I still doubt it because apparently USA is not kicking in extra money for SmackDown being live. So I don't see them kicking in any extra money for a third hour of SmackDown.
Don't be surprised, man. So,
I mean,
if it does,
oh, we'll see in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I really don't want, because there's no stars on their roster. Everyone's booked the same 50-50, no clear favorites. People who are losers 3-4 weeks, like Zack Ryder, for whatever reason now he's getting a push. I'm like, what in the world? It makes no sense. And him not only winning the Battle Royal, but then having him beat Sheamus. Which what the heck went on with Sheamus, man? Sheamus, who was a champion, champion several months ago. Now he's losing to Zack Ryder. What in the world happened?
Yeah, Sheamus has always been his push has always been schizophrenic.
And this
Like one day he's a champion, the next day he's an utter joke. Especially with the whole League of Nations debacle.
uh,
Yeah, but I mean, then again, I'm also on the mindset that somebody. It's like when somebody a jobber starts becoming more and starts winning. For lack of a better term, like what Ryder has. To me, it's always like he's getting. Oh, what's a good word? Like I hesitate to say like a promotion, but let's just say a promotion. And it's like, oh, good for him. And then like next month, he's going to be back to where he was.
yeah. And there's no. People say, well, the band expansion will fix up. Like, no, it won't. The thing is, there's no big stars there. And much as I would like to say that it's like, I was a promoter of the brand extension as like keeping stars away, keeping big matches, doing that stuff. WWE screwed that up. And not only that, you have no, there is quite honestly, their plan is going to have like multiple big time pay per views. Like they did in the
Oh,
previous days, like 20 pay per views a year, which I'm like,
that's
yeah,
horrifying.
yeah,
I
that's going to be
think
great.
I think that kind of has broken my spirit. Just like, fine, whatever. I mean, I'll watch just to at least keep up, but man.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I watch now is the WWE Network
Mm-hmm.
for watching the old stuff, the good stuff. Like for example, when WCW back in the watching that stuff, watching old stuff, which the fans are not chanting random things or things like that, but they were hot and they loved the stuff. And watching like for example, cage matches that ended in like instead of running away, you actually finished the match inside the cage. Which I mean, that's I wish they could. That would be one thing if I could bring back is actually if a cage match, there's no more escaping the cage. I just don't care for that anymore.
I mean, when I first actually started watching wrestling, I thought, escape the cage was a normal thing. And it kind of has been in WWE lore. Just like not escaping was just like an NWA thing, from what I gathered.
Yes, and it was done a lot better.
Yeah, like,
But yeah, it's something I just can't care for. I just don't really care for the way WWE does it. But again, I just look at this whole when I watch them. I mean, the championships, everything seems to be on a holding pattern. Everything is just holding pattern, and I don't. There's nothing really matters. And until
yeah,
they
yeah,
actually,
and it's going to be like that next week and the week after, and then it'll start. And then I think things are going to matter after Battleground once the whole brand split gets underway. Of course, then we have to find out what's going to happen if they're going to actually try to care about it, which is highly doubtful. But I mean, I think USA is not. I mean, we know that USA is not happy with the ratings, and if this keeps up, they may like say because their American TV deal runs till like 2019 or 2020. They might say, "Fuck this shit, we're out."
yeah,
And the television rights fee has been, the main uh, revenue stream for WWE, like by far the biggest. So if that goes away right now, who knows what's going to happen? And this is one of the rare times of I almost want Rowdy C here because he can explain what I just said much, much better.
yeah, stuff like that. I really, really hope that the brand split works. I do want it to work, but the problem is, I just think there's no one really to care about these characters. There's wins or losses. I mean, at the end, and I like the fact when Stephanie's talking about, UFC. Oh, UFC. Once you lose in the UFC, You don't matter, which is complete BS. Mark Hunter's lost to come, but yeah, he still has his fan base. Conor McGregor lost, and he's gonna have when he gets back, he's gonna make his money. Who's that undefeated? Let's see, it was can't believe she was at WrestleMania a year ago.
Ronda Rousey?
Yes, Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, she's gonna make bank when she gets back into the ring. And
If she comes back.
yeah, she's gonna have a huge megaton buy rate. You know?
Yeah.
And it's funny because this is like a backhanded yeah, our losers mean something. No, they don't. Your winners don't mean anything. Your losers don't mean anything. There's nothing matters in your company. Yeah, people just in there spinning their wheels. Rusev should not be U.S. champion right now. He should be main eventing. He shouldn't be in the damn mid card for this long a period of time. He's just been sat there trying to do damage control after his loss to Cena and him being in the League of Notions for so many goddamn months or whatever. Him winning the U.S. championship again is just retread. It's all retread, and it means nothing. You know what I'm saying, right? It's just we'll just put the U.S. title back on him. It's nothing. Who cares?
Yeah, the whole my turn, your turn, 500 club booking, 50-50, call it what you will. It just leads to a stagnant product. And there's always the mentality because in '98, The Rock was booked that way when he was going 50-50 with Ken Shamrock, but he overcome because he's The Rock.
The character. If you have character, you could do something. And if the people
technically they all have character, but they're not The Rock. They don't have The Rock's
charisma,
natural skills to overcome that.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep thinking, well, if The Rock can do it, anybody can. It's like, no, not anybody can.
Yeah. And it's going to take, I really think it's going to take a lot more. Hopefully they'll wake up and say, maybe we need to do some changes, some real deep changes. Ratings are going down. People are now caring. The people need to start caring. There has to be some emotion to these type of, something to these characters, something to latch onto. Because again, ratings are going down, and people, I know Roddy C right there, if he was here, he would probably point this out or whatever. But again, when I look and see at other shows, other things like Preacher, or say Walking Dead, which makes so much higher ratings, and all these other things, but yet the WWE can't. It's just but
then again, USA as a whole has been going down. There's no real hot shows.
I heard good things about Mr. Robot, but I think that's the one thing. You have to, because when the show is hot, it takes usually not just one. It takes season 2 and season 3 to get that following. You know?
And then of course Raw's been around for 23 years.
Yeah. And people are probably just tired at this point. And I think a lot of things need to change inside that company before things get better.
Basically, the only thing that's actually going to matter is, McMahon not being in charge anymore. And, whether he's going to say, screw it, I'm going to retire, goddammit, which will never happen. Or he's going, drop dead, which is also never going to happen because I'm pretty sure that he's fiercely trying to find a cure for death.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Unless, Triple H is part of the WWE board, so he may try to say, I demand a vote of no confidence.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think until Vince goes, we're not gonna see any positive changes. That's a sad thing.
And there's at least there's always NXT.
Yeah, but for how long? I mean, at some point, NXT is going to be destroyed after the draft, so yeah.
Maybe not. I mean, yeah, it's going to be good, but from what I gather about who's going to be in the September class, it may it may be okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope. We always got this hope.
That, and I think and like I said, last week, the July 4th rain. I mean, it's a holiday. Most of television was off, so Raw did outdraw most of cable, if not all of the cable
Yeah,
shows.
but how long?
But
But when Monday
but
Night Raw, when Monday Night Football comes in, oh
yeah,
boy.
that's going to be a massacre. And if for and now ratings should go back up this Monday. There's always the thing of, well, if it doesn't,
Yeah,
so
they better get
so like
something done. They need to get something big. They need to get something that will entice people and actually bring some consequences. They need to have that back into it. And I don't think Steph are saying doesn't know what that is. So yeah.
yeah. But then again, Shane doesn't care. He's in as a performer. He's not in the business side
Oh
this
yeah,
time
that's
around.
true. So he's gonna get his money and then leave. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
but
that's the sad part. But
yeah,
hopefully
like I
things will
said,
get better.
yeah, hopefully, like the ratings will go up Monday, hopefully, and
Hmm.
then I mean next week's going to be the true test for both not only Raw but definitely for TNA, because I mean going back to the Final Deletion match, that drew like an extra 100,000 viewers.
Yeah. And they have the Destination X, which I think will be best if Lashley actually wins. For the at the wins the belt X division and retains his belt, because I would love to see Lashley destroy people. Or unless they're gonna have Lashley lose and they have Eddie Edwards win and then have set up Broken Matt Hardy to win and retain the championship. Maybe
Either that or David Richards, returns
return.
from an injury and becomes TNA champion, just
Yeah.
like in Ring of Honor.
Hmm. Yeah. But there's a lot of hope, people. And that's the show for this evening. Thank you so much, Patrick Xander. I will put the Twitter. That's what you have now, right?
Yep.
I'll put the Twitter on the description. Thanks you once again. It's Duke CT here. Any party words, Patrick?
No, not really.
Man. All right. We will talk to you later. I will talk to you guys later as when I put this up. It will be before my big old Sunday live stream. But doing not only God of War, Chains of Olympus, but also Ratchet and Clank, Going Commando, because I like to take things. Yeah, I'm hardcore enough. I take them both. Yeah,
At the
that's
same time,
I don't know, after 1 hour after each other. 1 hour of this and 1 hour of that. But anyway. Um anyway, thank you so much for listening. This is Duke CT here. Peace, love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all later.